from WATE 6 on your side, honoring Black history as we recognize those who are using the past to make an impact today. It's our mind, body, and soul that strengthen members of the community who are looking towards a better tomorrow. Join us as we celebrate the leaders making a difference.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tirsa Smith.
And I'm Allison Smith. Thank you for joining us. As we celebrate Black History Month, we're honoring Black history with a focus on the mind, body, and soul.
We are featuring East Tennesseans and others across the country who are using the lessons of the past to impact our community today and work toward a better future for all. We begin tonight with the next generation of young Black educators making a difference.
Yeah, walking the halls at Austin East High School is Melody Hawkins. She's changing the game by getting a seat at the table and advocating for students every step of the way.
Eric, you all right? Did you get some stuff done yesterday?
Melody Hawkins is a powerhouse of student-centered education.
Every little seed that we plant as educators matters. Every little seed. 60 seconds to start your life in algebra.
The former middle school science teacher accepted an administrator position at Austin East Magdon High School this school year. Her new role allows her to be what students need.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I love you too. I think about my students like my family. It's okay to have these moments. It's not okay to give up. Like how to put it over here. Oh, okay.
Hawkins makes routine rounds through the halls and classrooms, getting a read on how students and teachers are doing day to day.
Being a role model really does support my students in seeing that it's okay to look like me and continue to thrive against all odds. It's not easy, but we have to keep pushing.
Hawkins says data shows persistent gaps in academic achievement between white students and their peers of color. She says if we want to support Black students, we need to invest in Black teachers.
If we have educators who are educators of color and also happen to have a keen expertise in how to support students of color, then we should absolutely have them at the table making decisions so that we can work together to really come up with good plans to support our students.
She encourages her students to set their sights high.
You have a vision for yourself, and that vision is of success.
What time?
During advisory.
Hawkins' success is reflected in her long list of accomplishments. There is no doubting her skills or passion for education.
We need the passion, and that's something that's really hard to teach. Even in the best teacher prep programs, it's really hard to teach someone how to be passionate about seeing students be successful. So it's necessary to have adults in the building who care.
Because she believes through these halls walks the future.
I want them to live with confidence, with peace, and with motivation to continue to grow, because I absolutely know that they are the ones that will support our society to become better, more healthy, and thrive.
This week, Hawkins received a national honor recognizing her inspirational teaching practices. She has been named the National University Teacher of the Year, which includes a prize of $50,000.
Breast cancer is one of the most publicized and focused on forms of cancer. Most efforts to bring awareness to this disease don't focus on some of the most vulnerable patients. Nationwide, African American women have a 31% breast cancer mortality rate, the highest of any U.S. racial or ethnic group. Now, there is a local effort to make sure Black women are given a fighting chance.
Cindy Sanford has made her health a priority. She co-founded a group that encourages healthy movement for African American women in Knoxville.
My walking group is the Knoxville Walkers. It is a walking group that is for Black women to have space and to encourage them with better health, better self-care, better mental health, and all the things. And it's actually an offshoot of the National Organization of Girl Trek.
For someone who focused on and valued her physical fitness, the blow of a breast cancer diagnosis was monumental.
Once I settled down a little bit and my husband calmed me down, he was amazing. He was just like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. We've been through this before, because his mother had breast cancer.
Sanford's breast cancer journey was emotionally draining and physically tough, but with proper medical care and the odds being in her favor, she beat cancer. Sanford's oncologist feels strongly about reducing the number of Black women who succumb to breast cancer.
So number one, awareness, and number two, utilizing the screening resources that are available. So an annual screening mammogram, at least starting at the age of 40. We're starting to look into maybe that recommendation should be different for all African American women, not just African American women with a family history. But for now, it's an annual screening mammogram starting at the age of 40.
Increasing access to mammograms for Black women is the focus of the Alliance House Community Coalition Black Women Breast Cancer Awareness Committee, raising funds to commission a new specialty Tennessee license plate.
The state has a 60% mortality rate. And I just don't have time to be politically correct. If these mortality rates with people other than Black people, I think there would be campaigns and organizations and just, you name it, it would be out there.
The organization is starting the movement in Tennessee so all women have that fighting chance.
There's just so many different things, and it's really disheartening to know that we have women that are not getting top-notch care irregardless of socioeconomic status or race. You know, that shouldn't be, that just shouldn't be. That just shouldn't be. And so the Alliance House and the BWBCA Black Women Breast Cancer Committee is working to change that.
One license plate at a time.
In order to have the Breast Cancer Plate Commission, the Alliance House Community Coalition, and the Black Women's Breast Cancer Awareness Committee must reach this goal of 1,000 orders by June. For information on the campaign, go to the Honoring Black History section of WATE.com.
The numbers are alarming, as several studies show that between the social justice movement to the pandemic, people of color show elevated levels of stress, depression, and anxiety.
Heading now to Alabama, where advocates work to change those numbers and the stigma. Archie Snowden shows us how.
We give our own self a name, so it is time to break the chain.
Jerome Wallace is a big advocate for mental health, and he's encouraging more people of color to seek help because he believes that mental issues in his community are deep-rooted.
What better person to change that than our own self?
He says now it's even more important than ever after nearly daily reminders of racial injustice and the many Black families that have been hit hard by COVID-19. Wallace has been seeking mental counseling for years, since losing his mother to a violent death at the hands of his stepfather when he was just 16 years of age.
I was there when it happened. It was not one of those incidents where, you get the phone call and say, hey, your mom's been killed.
Wallace says he was never guided to seek mental counseling. It's caused instability in his life and prison time. It's prompted him to create his own organization, the Angela Claxton Foundation, that focuses on promoting healing in the Black community through mental health services and events.
Seeing that and witnessing that, I'm here to help others. So now my therapy is helping others.
If he is the one that can use his testimony of his own struggles to enlighten someone else, to bring them along to get the help that they need, then I think that is a tremendous asset to the society.
Lucretia Coleman, a licensed mental health therapist, says that even as therapy for people of color like Jerome have become more mainstream, the Black community has had a tough time overall getting the help that they need.
Traditionally, the way that we were raised to check in on our mental health dealt with going to the church because that's strong in the Black community.
Coleman adds that she sees when troubled children of color display aggressive behaviors in the educational system, they're diagnosed as oppositional defiant, as compared to other children displaying those same behaviors are diagnosed as depression and anxiety. Coleman is reaching to change that perception.
A lot of my referrals are seeking clinicians that look like me. They actually seek out and they ask or say, I'm looking for someone that can relate to what I'm dealing with. I want someone to look like my daughter, my son, someone that I don't have to explain my Blackness to.
Still to come, two world-famous artists who once called East Tennessee home will soon be forever immortalized in Knoxville. We'll show you how the Beck Cultural Exchange Center is working to showcase and honor the art of Buford and Joseph Delaney.
And a local nonprofit organization is on a mission to help the underserved community, how they're encouraging children and adults to express their creativity in a safe environment.
At U.S. Cellular, we're local, so we're on the ground every day, working to make sure our 5G network isn't impacted by the local weather.
Now you can get the most out of our 5G network with unlimited data for just $30 a month. Plus, choose any phone from any brand for free. That's right, free, including all 5G phones.
Because we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. All year round, U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Tennessee Shine Company, the only place in the Smokies offering the ultimate moonshine tour. Experience the history and passion behind moonshine. Take the tour and taste some shine. And soon, you can see just how it's made. That's right, the Tennessee Shine Distillery walking tour is just around the corner. We're your moonshine experts. Taste some shine at any of our locations. And coming soon, see how we make it. Tennessee Shine Company, the real deal. Respect the shine.
Honoring Black history, mind, body, soul. American track and field athlete Jacqueline Joyner Kersee is one of the greatest athletes in American history. Having won 3 gold medals and numerous national titles, she was named Sports Illustrated for Women's Top Female Athlete of the 20th Century. She's actively involved in children's education, racial equality, and women's rights.
Nissan is proud to honor East Tennessee's Black history.
The Rooms to Go President's Day sale ends Monday, so find your valuable President's Day bonus coupons in your newspaper, online, or on the new Rooms to Go app. Coupons good through Monday, President's Day. Coupons that save you big money on great-looking furniture. Now is the perfect time to shop and get extra savings with your bonus coupons. Plus, to make buying easier, finance interest-free for 60 months. That's now through Monday at the Rooms to Go President's Day sale.
Welcome back. A local Black artist is inspiring others, telling her story of overcoming addiction through art. Now she's providing a creative outlet to those who need it most because they may have fallen on hard times. Alante Walker shows us how Canvas Can Do Miracles is making East Tennessee a little brighter through the power of art.
For many of us, Wednesday is just the middle of the work week. But since 2019, Wednesday continues to mark the day of gathering for Canvas Can Do Miracles, a nonprofit that's drawing in kids and adults to let out their inner artistry.
When they see me, they call me the art lady. When they come to the art center, we want them to feel loved and love what they're doing. And they do. And they have awesome ideas. So they get to allow those ideas to come to light through art.
Offering free art classes is a dream come true for Executive Director Jackie Holloway. She is using this outlet to create a brighter future for others after going through a dark time in her past.
I got into a situation where I was addicted to crack cocaine for 12 years. And so I had laid my artwork down. So art saved my life. Whatever you're struggling with, art can be therapy for you. And so that's why the Lord gave me this vision.
It's that vision that is making the organization a safe space for self-expression, culture, and community.
When I first came, I was a little nervous to talk to anybody, but now everybody's friends with me and I'm friends with them. I feel confident, happy, and where I belong.
This program, I believe, has helped so many because art is life. What's on your heart, you can put it on paper or canvas and be creative and let it flow, and then you'll want to just continue doing it over and over.
So Wednesday continues to be the day of the week where these artists turn concepts into creations, and is proof that a canvas can really do miracles and so much more.
A lot of people won't try art because they compare themselves with a great artist, and they say, I can't do that. Well, no, you do what you do, and your work will express you, and it will be beautiful. And once you start seeing the work that you produce, you'll just grow.
Some of those art pieces are available to purchase. The proceeds go directly to the artists. Canvas Can Do Miracles is located on Magnolia Street in East Knoxville.
The Beck Cultural Exchange Center is working to create a new international museum celebrating Black history here in Knoxville. When members of the center were working to purchase the home that was right next door to their building, they weren't aware of the history. 1935 Dandridge Avenue was just an old boarded-up home, but when they took a closer look at the paperwork, they realized they now owned a piece of Knoxville history. It was the last family home in Knoxville, a Buford and Joseph Delaney. They were among the greatest abstract painters of the 20th century. And now the center is working to conserve and preserve the building, making it the new home of the Delaney Museum.
Who knew in 1975, when the Beck House was purchased to preserve the history, it would also be right next door to the Delaney House. We'll have some featured art pieces from the Delaney collection. And what's really, really exciting is we will also have an artist in residency studio apartment.
They're hoping to open the door to the Delaney Museum in August of this year.
Still to come as we honor Black history, Knoxville's oldest African-American cemetery has been suffering decades of neglect, but one local student is working to change that.
We'll tell you about her efforts to restore Citizen Cemetery and to make sure those buried there are properly remembered.
Breaking news alerts. Always know on the 6 on Your Side news app.
Down a buffalo wing with Zaxby's new buffalo garlic blaze boneless wings meal. Fries and toast and an ice cold drink of your choice. Oh, it's a lot. Don't forget the ranch.
CARE. It has the power to change the way we see things. It inspires us to go further. It has our back and goes out of its way to help. When you start with CARE, you get a different kind of bank. Truist, born to care.
Wait till you see her new living room. She got everything at Lazy Boy.
What does she do about 6 recliners?
Hey, hi, girls. Hey, come on in.
Whoa.
Announcing the President's Day sale. For a limited time, you can save on recliners, starting from $3.99. Plus, you'll get 0% interest financing for 36 months.
And this all came from Lazy Boy?
Yep.
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Boneless wings gone wild. Zaxby's all-new Buffalo Garlic Blaze. Saucy, savory, spicy, spectacular. Try it on the new Buffalo Garlic Blaze Boneless Wings meal. Comes with fries, Texas toast, and a drink. Only at Zaxby's.
Welcome back to Honoring Black History, Mind, Body, and Soul. Many cemeteries dedicated to the lives of African Americans have been forgotten and left untouched for decades.
One of those cemeteries lies here in Knoxville. Veronica Obey introduces us to a woman behind the mission of restoration.
Stones engraved with names, the day they were born and the day they died. Others with just names and when they passed, but for many others, nothing. This is Citizen Cemetery, what is estimated to be the oldest African-American cemetery in Knoxville. It's home to around 6,000 African-American freedmen and those who were enslaved, dating back to as early as 1836. But the proof of that hardly exists.
In terms of where people are buried, we don't know because only about 500-ish have headstones.
After decades of neglect, Tatiana Griffin, a master's student studying anthropology, is digging beneath the surface to find the lost souls in hopes of bringing their truth to light.
We say respect the dead, but when you look at this cemetery, it's quite the opposite. And we talk a lot about agency, we talk a lot about voice, and really Black communities have never really had control over their own agency and over their own voices.
Since August of 2020, with the help of local historians and organizations, Griffin has turned this cemetery into a place of study. But she says even she's learned there's more to the story behind each tombstone that needs to be seen.
When I'm taking pictures of headstones, or if we're backfilling graves or pulling up vegetation, You know, you'll see a headstone of like a 2-year-old child, and you're like, what happened? Why are you here at this age?
With many questions unanswered and more graves to be found, Griffin only hopes that through her work, with assistance from the community, at the very least, restoring the cemetery will provide the dead with voices that have never been heard.
While we may not be family in terms of biology, we're definitely family in terms of everything else, I feel like.
And she's happy to be part of this family.
Griffin, along with others in the community, hope to continue working on restoring Citizen Cemetery in March.
Well, still to come, diving into the tradition of Southern cooking. We'll take you inside a new Knoxville restaurant that is sharing the Black experience via the kitchen.
And a local teacher is celebrating nearly 3 decades of teaching West African dance to students in East Knoxville. A look at the legacy she's laid out.
The Bachelor premieres Monday, January 3rd on ABC.
Sponsored locally by Knoxville Wholesale Furniture, the furniture you want. Follow us on Instagram for great design ideas for your home.
You won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So take Allegra before allergy symptoms take over you. And for kids, try allergist-recommended non-drowsy children's Allegra.
Wow. No braces, everything's hands-free. I wasn't so lucky.
Invis is not your parents' braces. Invis is faster than braces and the clear aligner brand most trusted by doctors, Invisalign.
I was born in Los Angeles, raised in a really tiny town outside of Sacramento. I found that what kids from the country and kids from the city have in common is that we're all on this journey to being the best us we can be. Morning in America has this very unique opportunity. We get to do something that's never been done before. And I know people think, oh, what could be so different about news? But when you actually go to the root of what people need, that hope, that's something that you can get hooked on. I want people to get hooked on Morning in America.
The Bachelor premieres Monday, January 3rd on ABC.
Sponsored locally by Knoxville Wholesale Furniture, the furniture you want. Follow us on Instagram for great design ideas for your home.
Welcome back. Dance is such an important part of the Black experience. The art of expression tells a people's story where words cannot convey. A Knoxville teacher is retiring after 27 years of teaching dance, connecting her students to their roots.
Let's go places.
After nearly 3 decades of teaching the art of West African dance at Austin East Magnet High School.
Make it bigger. All right, don't make us miss her.
It's Malaika Guthrie's curtain call.
Sam Anderson is responsible for making that phone call to tell me, I'm going to offer you the last job you'll ever want. And I mean, amazingly enough, I really have not worked in 27 years.
The classes have always reached beyond the understanding of technique.
We'll do a little bit of strange fruit, we'll do a little bit of gospel, and then we'll do a little bit of African, and if we have time, we may do a little bit of hip-hop.
Pairing the understanding of self and roots to these students at this predominantly Black high school.
It's really helpful to learn more of my culture. Malika has really introduced a lot of students, including me, the background of West African and more of our culture.
West African drum instructor Obayana Ajankanu has been teaching with Guthrie for 16 years.
The knowledge that she give everybody, I soak it in as well, so because she's been in the field way longer than me.
The two connecting dance with the rhythm of the drums, generations of dance students at AE and Vine Middle School rooted in their instruction.
So when you think about something that's been in the community consistently for that long, it basically is part of the foundation of the community.
I
feel so blessed because I don't know of very many people that get to actually work and do the thing that they're gifted to do.
While her teaching career comes to a close, she hopes the lessons will live on in her students.
Dance is a discipline, so you got to be here on time. You got to have your things ready for performance. You got to have your hair and makeup. So if you can be disciplined here, it carries on throughout the rest of academics and throughout the rest of your life, period.
And that's a wrap. Austin East is working to make sure the West African dance program lives on. They haven't named a successor just yet. Soul food has deep roots in the South, recipes passed down from generation to generation of Black Americans, evolving from the days of enslavement to the 21st century.
Kristen Galan takes us to Knoxville's newest and hottest restaurant, to Ola's Southern Cuisine 2. She has more on how the small business is a tribute to family.
Spray my waffle maker. So I have my red velvet mix right here.
Love is the secret ingredient in this South Knoxville kitchen.
Stack my wings on top.
Daryl Johnson, also known as Chef Black, and his partner Uganda Reed's journey to open a restaurant began a few years ago.
I moved here 4 years ago. I was like, it's no soul food, tasty seafood type stuff. So I instantly thought about him, was like, we need to open up a restaurant.
Johnson's love for cooking started because of two special women in his life.
When I first learned how to cook, my grandmother, I had custody of my daughter. She was 9 months. And when I had custody of her, my grandmother was like, look, you know you have your daughter, and you got to take care of her, you know.
Which included knowing how to make a good meal. He then took those skills to the military.
I was working on a military ship as a merchant marine, and we're working in the kitchen. So I came behind other chefs and other cooks or whatever, and just took the experience from there.
After his time serving, Johnson worked as a chef with the dream of opening up his own restaurant.
If I could come here and do seafood and soul food together, I think this would be something major out here.
With the help of Reed, that dream became a reality.
So one day he woke up, he said, my grandmother told me to check out that building that used to be the old Quiznos. And I said, well, go check it out.
Never think that one day it would be to a point where I own restaurant.
And it was only fitting he named it after his late grandmother, Ola.
I really miss my grandma a whole lot, and wish that she was here when we did the grand opening.
A restaurant based on family, filled with love and good soul food.
Family is very important, and it carries on generations and generations, and it allows you to open up a different mindset when it comes to the family values and morals, especially as Black families, and the strength of them.
Ola's Southern Cuisine 2 is located on Chapman Highway.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we honored Black history here in East Tennessee and across the country.
For more on the stories you saw tonight, as well as how you can honor Black History Month, you can find all of that information on our website, WATE.com.
We have a special section dedicated to Black History Month under the News tab. Good night.